Hello, everybody. My name is Shoreline614, and welcome back to what very well might be the last Kerbal Space Program 1 stream I've ever done. Probably not the last time I'll play KSP1. I'll probably finish up some things that I have in my own personal saves later this week, but KSP2 is coming out in 5 days, and the review embargo has been lifted, and I have some thoughts on the game. Mostly overall positive, but they're kind of cautiously optimistic about KSP2, but I have decided, right, that because there's no way in hell that we're going to go everywhere we want before KSP2 comes out, right? And I've also made the realization that, hey, I'm not going to be able to stream until, because KSP2 comes out on Friday, 9 o'clock my time. I'll be in class, which absolutely sucks, but, you know, I will be hopefully playing the game come Friday. But I just realized, like, the #1 place I want to go to is Laythe, right? So how about we just, like, rush Laythe? Basically take what we have in terms of a ship out at Duna, right? Throw absolutely everything that we do not need off of it, as in the ore lander, the lander itself, like the crew lander, everything except for the pod, if we can even do that, right? And basically we just go and strand these, well, strand the 7 Kerbals on Laythe, or you know, basically just go there, because I've never actually been to Laythe, and Laythe I think is the most interesting thing. Now, since the last stream, I have actually come back and basically driven this thing back. So what we need to do is we basically need to rendezvous with our Project Wanderer ship, right? And then we basically need to rearrange everything, so it's basically just the drive, the little core segment, the plane, and that top command module. Everything else I'm going to ditch because I do not think I have enough Delta V by myself just to get to Laythe. Also, that might allow us to maybe come home, who knows. So, the first thing we have to do is, well, we have to get these guys up onto the... No, wait. Hold up. Is the ladder not working all of a sudden? Please tell me the ladder's not working. What if I just... Fuck, the ladder's not working. Okay. I don't know why it's not working. How about we switch to another Kerbal, right? Because if the ladder doesn't work... Family Guy Funny Moments finale. Tragic death of Brian Griffin. Hi Spud, we're gonna go strand these guys on Laythe, I've decided. However, the ladders are being stupidly jank, and for whatever reason not wanting to... The Kerbals don't want to go up them, even though in testing they did. So, I'm actually gonna do a cheat. And, well, I'm gonna quick save first, right? And I'm actually just gonna... Oop. Just hack gravity a little bit, right? Just to get these guys up here, because I don't feel like struggling with the ladder. you know, to get him back in. But yeah, we are. My decision is to basically, because uh, I'm not gonna have enough time to go all of the places I want to go. We're just gonna basically rush Laythe, uh, and that involves ditching most of our craft. uh, you know, basically maximize Delta V. So we're going to be ditching the Orlander. We're going to be ditching the actual, hopefully the bottom half of this as well, because I think that can act as a decoupler, right? So it would just be the capsule. It doesn't have a heat shield, I just realized, but that might be an issue. Because that's like the one place I want to go. So that's what we're doing today. Hopefully, I don't know how long. Basically, I mean, I have class early tomorrow, but it's virtual class, so I don't actually need to wake up and go anywhere. But I just don't know how long this is all going to take, hopefully. So, I guess while we're at it, I might as well share my thoughts on KSP2, because I saw EJ talking about it on his stream, and I saw Tim's video on it, right? And so what are my thoughts? Number one, I know the big thing everyone is freaking out over are the... Do you not have a jetpack? Oh, yeah, it's just not here. The big thing that everyone's freaking out over are the minimum required specs. Luckily, I actually have the minimum required specs on my computer. You know, I did see comments. I think it was there was a tweet from the community director of KSP2 that basically said that's like the minimum specs are the recommended minimum specs. You can get away with running it lower than that. And number two, KSP2 when it releases is not an optimized game, right? It's early access. So you're not getting a fully optimized 100% bug-free experience. So I'm not too worried about the specs in the long run, mostly because A, I can handle it, and B, those specs are almost certainly going to go down as the game gets further optimized as a result of the basically massive playtesting that everyone's going to do. I feel like many people are forgetting the fact that KSP2 is indeed, it is early access. It's going to be buggy. There's going to be things missing. That's kind of the point of an early access, to kind of put just the base out there, the minimum viable product out there, and get everyone's thoughts for it, so you can actually, well, you can actually, you know, develop the game. What do you think of the gameplay besides the specs? Okay, so I guess the actual gameplay itself, I think I've only ever done like 2 rendezvous, like 1 rendezvous around Duna, so this is going to be interesting. The gameplay looked fine. I love the new Kerbal Space Center. I think out of all the things, I think the editor is probably the thing I'm going to have to get the most used to. They've changed a lot in the editor. You know, one thing I do like is that they've combined the SPH and the VAB into just one thing, which is I always design my stuff in the SPH anyways, because the SPH always has better camera controls. The actual, like, light UI, I think it was fairly straightforward. I pretty much got it within like 30 seconds of me seeing it. Having the nap all off to the side is a bit weird, but I think they've said that they will add it. You'll be able to customize it again in the future. The gameplay looks fine. I mean, it's Kerbal Space, like basic KSP gameplay. I don't really... I think that will be pretty good. I do know that as I say, going back to the fact that the game isn't optimized, I think SW Dennis did a stress test and it started to kind of choke down at about like 200 parts, which is kind of slightly, probably the thing I'm concerned the most about. Like, are you not going to be able to get up to, at least with the initial release, are you not going to be able to build high part count craft? I'm not too worried about that long term because, as I said, they are going to optimize the hell out of the game. Okay. It is now time for us to... Basically, I'm going to shut up about KSP2 for a moment. And we are going to basically launch this thing off the surface of Duna. We're leaving the rover here because we're not going to need that for Laythe. There's no way I can get it down to the surface of Laythe. Laythe has a thicker atmosphere than this anyways, so it's going to be a bit of an issue. Alright. Rendezvous, orbit. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff. Okay. There we go. Okay. Now, I do kind of want to head up, turn the SAS on. I do kind of want to head in this direction. I'm tired, I'm gonna head out. You don't have to watch Spud. If you want to head out and just leave, that's perfectly fine with me. You don't have to watch my stream. Before I do anything, I'm actually gonna shift myself over. Can you ping me on Discord when you're about to land on Laythe? Yeah, that's fine. I can do that. Shifting myself over, because I just realized. I do this for every game I play, it's different. Okay. Oh, wait a second. Okay. Hold up. I'm actually going to redo that because I got confused about where exactly I need to be going. Okay. Okay. So, okay, retract the ladder. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just go. I need to head roughly in this direction, right? Right. We are headed off of Duna. I really like Parallax Duna. I think Parallax Duna looks really nice. I think Duna in general is just a really neat place. But, just Mars, but still. Alright. Ugh. Probably be doing... I just need to get into a orbit, basically. I'm not good at doing... Why is this ascent so shit? Okay, hold up. I might have to redo this again. Yeah, okay. It's gonna take me multiple tries to do this ascent, I can already tell. This thing really does not like to roll. Ugh. Thank God for quick saves, though. I've never really tried to play without quick saves, but okay. 3, 2, 1. So I think our trick just right now is just to go up. Don't even try and do a gravity turn. gonna use the RCS to kind of help me orient myself. Just get out of the atmosphere as quick as we can. Yeah, that's a better trajectory. Okay. I forget what orbital velocity around Duna is. It's like, what is it, like 1,400, I think? Atmosphere is, I think, 50 kilometers, right? Maybe pitch over a bit now to kind of get us some lateral speed. I just want to get into a orbit. It doesn't really matter, because we can have this come and rendezvous with us, right? Hold up. Why am I blanking on the Duna atmosphere? Atmospheric height. It's 50 kilometers. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, 55 for now. Oh, that's pretty. Damn, that's high. That's a pretty high mountain, because we're almost into space. But I guess I never realized how high some of these mountains on Duna can actually get to. Well, I guess it's kind of realistic. It's kind of, you know, Mars is like that, so why wouldn't Duna be like that too? I think the highest point on Duna is it's over here somewhere. Ugh. Okay. We're still in the atmosphere, technically. That's pretty cool looking. That's the distance that we drove. It was roughly like 25 kilometers. I don't know. I did a really roundabout way where I just went up this mountain and then I kind of went down. If I just went straight, that would have been so much easier. I didn't know, but I was just looking for it at the time. Okay. 1,100 meters a second left. That should be enough to get us into an orbit. Yeah, I'm gonna fizz warp slightly. Excuse me. Okay, we are in space. Right. Now time to light up our engines for our orbital insertion burn. And our relative inclination is going to be all whack, but as I said, this is just going to be... I'm not going to, like... Depending on how much LTV we have left once we get into an orbit, I might have the other ship come and rendezvous with this instead of the other way around. Ugh. I need to pitch up some more, just to kind of keep that out in front of us. Look at that. That's kind of crazy. One of my favorite things to do, right, is something I've always loved doing, is putting something in like a stupidly low orbit around someplace. Like I find the like around the Mun, right? I think the highest point on the Mun is at like 7 kilometers at the poles, and around the equator it's like 6.5 or something. So I always love putting something in a super low orbit and just watching the everything just slide past me. That's always fun. Okay, we are in an orbit. 56 by 54. That's not actually bad. We have 600 meters a second left. Okay. Actually, I'm curious. What can we do? Getting our inclination to be the same isn't actually that much. We might be able to rendezvous with just this alone. That'd be pretty cool. Okay. Where is our descending node? So relative inclination? Yeah. Duna's so cool. I love this place. It's easily my favorite place in the entire Kerbal system. It's actually, you know what? That's probably going to be the first place we go to with KSP2. I'm going to do a Mars Direct mission as my first, like, big thing in KSP2, right? So, because I've already done Mars Direct style mission architecture before, but that was an entire adventure I kind of don't want to get into, but I want to do it right this time, basically. Okay, we do have the correct inclination, which is nice. Just curious, what kind of encounter can we get? I don't want to... 400? We can get... Okay, if we just wait a little bit, we can get a... We just wait a little bit, we can actually get a pretty good encounter for not a lot of Delta V. We might be able to rendezvous with this thing.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Hey!
Roger, go at throttle up.
Louis TV, you are go at throttle up. Thank you for following, my friend. How are you doing tonight? I hope you're doing well. Excited for KSP2? I certainly am. I was going into it a bit earlier. I don't know if you were here for that, but I think KSP2 is gonna release in early access, and you have to keep that in mind. But all right. Okay. So we rendezvous, or we warp around for 1 hour. Well, that's trippy. Okay. We are leaving Dune. I mean, Duna. Duna, same thing. I swear, if there's not, like, flavor text in, like, KSP2, or, like, surface sample, it's a Dune reference, that'd be pretty nice. I know when I landed on Dune last stream, last KSP stream, I was making a whole bunch of Dune jokes, but oh well. Yeah, so I think the first thing I'm going to do... Okay, so I was thinking about, okay, what do I want to do in KSP2, right? Because... Good, thank you. On a brief break from work, I'm hoping KSP2 will run on my PC. Okay, here's the thing about that, and I hope work is going well for you. And thanks for tuning into my stream. But luckily my computer can run it, but the specs that they released, two things. I see if I can find the tweet, but there was a tweet from Nate, who's the KSP community director, that said that the minimum specs that they released were the recommended specs. Basically saying you can probably get away with running lower. Number two, early access game, the specs have yet to be optimized. The whole point of releasing an early access is to get a massive, basically people to play test it, and then they can optimize it. So even if you can't play KSP2 right now, the spec requirements are certainly going to come down so you can play it later. So I'm not too worried about that. I wouldn't be. Of course, I could be entirely wrong. I'm wrong about a lot of things, but yeah, I'm just thinking. I was going back and forth in my head, and the first thing I was thinking is what I could do maybe is I could basically build a space plane and go to Laythe, kind of like what we're doing now, kind of a more, uh, if KSP1 will run out, maybe KSP will too, I hope. I mean, what specs do you run on KSP? Like, if you're on the lowest possible settings on KSP1, I don't think you're going to be able to get away with running KSP2, at least right now. But if like, for example, I have Parallax and a whole bunch of other stuff installed, if you can get away with that on your computer, I think you should be fine. Even if, you know, it's on lower settings in KSP2. But, yeah, I was thinking, my first idea was, okay, we'll go to Laythe in KSP2 with a plane and a drive. Nuclear drives are going to be so much more easier in KSP2 because you don't have to use the damn airplane parts with the small-ass Nerva engine. They have an actually, like, high-thrust nuclear engine, and I'm so excited. But the second idea just now is, like, I absolutely love Duna, and I kind of want to do a Mars Direct style mission. 'Cause I've done it before, but I didn't stream it, but it didn't really go all that well. Alright, we are in render range. We are coming in pretty fast, so... Up. Ah, stop. Yeah, the biggest thing I'm excited about KSP2 is they have the nerve engines, right? But there's like the standard nerve engine. I'm still new to KSP1, only been to the Mud and Mimus. Jeb is stuck in orbit over Kerbal, lol. Don't worry, I've been playing this game for 10 years, or roughly 10 years, yeah. I think I picked up this game in like 2012. I was like 9 at the time, so that gives you some context. But I still strand Kerbals. Hell, by the end of this stream, we're gonna be stranding these Kerbals over at Laythe. I don't know. Basically, the entire this craft, right? It's kind of a send off to KSP1. What my intention was, right, was you build a craft. What I did, and what we've been doing, and what I'm just going to throw away for the sake of just rushing to Laythe, is I call it my self-sustaining ship, or Project Wanderer is the code name, where it's basically a mobile space station. You'll see in a moment with this lander, with a rover that can deploy out the back, which we promptly stranded onto the surface of Duna. And basically, the idea is you have your crew lander with a rover, and that's all reusable, and then you have an ore lander that goes down to the surface of various planets and mines for ore, and then you have a refinery up at the station to refine it, so you can hop from planet to planet. And I was able to test this out. This actually works rather well. I went to the Mun, and I went to Minmus, and I went to Duna, and my intention was I was going to go to Ike, I was going to go to Drez, I was going to go to all of the Jewel Moons except for Tylo, and then I was going to go to Elu, and maybe even Moho. I'm not even touching Eve. But that was my intention. My idea was I'd do the whole thing by the time KSP2 came out, right? And that plan, I got the ship to work, and I went to the Mud and Minmus and Duna, but everything else just kind of fell apart because I ran out of time. And I'm not going to this was a stream-only project, so I'm not going to be able to stream this week until KSP2 comes out, because that's just how my schedule works out. So I'm like, well, the number one place I wanted to go to was Laythe. I added a plane onto my ship specifically so I could go to Laythe, because I've never actually been there. At least legitimately, I've cheated stuff there before, but that's no fun. So we're just going to basically ditch absolutely everything from this mobile space station that I do not need and just go to Laythe. Because normally after this, my plan was I'd go to Ike, and then I'd refuel at Ike, and then we'd go on to Drez, and, you know, but I just don't have the time. Did you get, Question, Louis, did you get KSP1 when it was for free? I think it was Epic Games? Or did you buy it beforehand? Because I have a friend who, I said, oh yeah, KSP1 is free on Epic Games, and he's like, and I got him into the game, which was pretty nice. So, more people getting into this game, the better. It truly is an excellent game. All KSP2 needs to be is just KSP1 with better optimization and better graphics, and be great. Okay. Bought it about 2 years ago? Oh, okay. Have you just not played it that much? I'm curious, not trying to like incite anything, just, you know. Oh, I need to take a sip of water. My mouth's already getting dry. Huh. Excuse me. Okay. Now it's time to actually, well, I've already rendezvoused. Time to dock this thing. That was actually a really good rendezvous. I'm surprised how good that rendezvous actually was. Work, family, eat up a lot of my time. That's entirely understandable. I have work. There's people upstairs. I don't know if you can hear my dogs running around upstairs, but yeah, I have work and school. I started work about 2 months ago, and I started school about a month ago, and that's been eating up a lot of my time. But too. Also, the sheer number of hobbies that I have kind of eats up a lot of it. So I haven't actually been able to play KSP1 that much off of stream. Yeah, there's like so many games that I really need to get to that I've been just like, oh yeah, I want to play like Subnautica and Terraria and Stardew Valley and Deep Rock and stuff like that, and I just don't have the time. Because, you know, when I play a game, I kind of want to stick to it for a little bit before heading on to something else. I don't want to, like, stream a game once and then be like, oh, I'm never touching it again, because I've done that before, and it's just a waste. So right now, I'm really committed to KSP. I'm really committed to, I guess, kind of Slime Rancher and Raft. TF2 on occasion, right? TF2 when, you know, I kind of just want to play with some random people on stream. Yeah, I definitely understand that. It's, those things are important, you should focus on them. I'm just gonna dock this the lazy way, where I just set the craft at each other and have them docked together. Huh. Oop. Sorry, there's people upstairs. I bought the $10 version of Xbox so I can play at my GF's house on the weekends. That's neat. How actually is the... Sometimes I completely forget that this game is also on console, which is kind of like... I don't really... When I think of console games, I don't think of KSP, yet it is one. I've always just played on PC. I wonder if KSP2 will get a console version at some point. I do wonder how the console version of KSP1 originally did. Huh. Up. I hear my dogs. My, where I record is directly underneath the living room in my house, which is probably not the best place to have it, but that's where it is. So I can hear all my dogs up there. Pain to play with an Xbox controller, so I've heard. Okay. So this is the entire self-sustaining ship, and now we just have to pick parts off of this to determine, you know... I think in this entire craft we have 3,000 delta V, which, let's get out a delta V map, right? Delta V map. Oh, that's a delta V map for real life, not Kerbal Space Program. Here it is. Right? You can't see what I'm doing, but... Excuse me, sorry. I ate before I did this. Okay. So, 360 plus 250 plus 130. So 740 to get you to basically a solar orbit, right? Oh wait, no. Hold up, I'm doing this incorrectly. 610 to get you to a solar orbit, and then Joule, it's getting to Joule is 980 plus 160, that gets you into an elliptical orbit. Laythe, so 930 gets you to a flyby, 890 gets you into a 60-kilometer orbit, 3,570 is the minimum requirement. I'm going to want at least 1,000 extra Delta V just to budget it out. And of course, break over, gotta go, have a great stream. Thank you for coming in, Louie TV. I thank you for following, and I hope everything goes well with you at work. Hope to see more of you again in the future. Oh, that was nice. Oh well. Okay, so 4,570 Delta V is roughly what we want. So I'm actually gonna begin by just transferring what's left of this fuel into this. Okay. So let's think about this for a second. So we need, that's the current Delta V in the entire craft, right? I think. And to be fair, half of our craft is disabled. So I think what I'm actually going to do is, if we want to go to Joule, I do not need this, basically, because I don't feel like doing a whole bunch of fueling flights over at Ike, and then, because then the stream would be like 10 hours long, and I can't do that, right? Our whole point is just to try and get there ASAP. So let's begin by transferring, basically transferring what liquid fuel we can, just any kind of liquid fuel we can, into our ship. Shit. Okay, I don't know why. Oh yeah, KSP crossfeed can be kind of funky at times. Yeah, there we go. I love how fast it drains. That is getting us some, that is getting us a fair amount of extra fuel, though. Okay. Plus, we are going to be ditching this. So. Okay. Is there anything in here that's special? No. Any fuel that's left? There's a whole bunch of oxidizer. Do we need oxidizer is the question. Oxidizer there. Okay, we might need some oxidizer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer what's left of the oxidizer into here. We're only going to be able to send one Kerbal down to the surface. It's probably going to be Jeb, but... Okay. We need to keep this segment. We don't need the Orlander. The Orlander weighs a lot, right? So... already, we almost have enough to get there. And I'm going to want plenty of margin, because I might want to bring these guys home. So I think, plus, you know, let's, okay. Transfer crew. We're gonna have Val go there. We're gonna undock. Oh, I just realized. Oh wait, no, never mind. Okay. For a second I thought these were different docking ports, but no. Man, I don't even know my own craft. Okay. So switch to this. Literally just shift it out of the way. I had a dream. Actually, you know what's weird? And that's just gonna float away. We don't even need that anymore. You know what's weird? I had a dream, like, when I was 10, 11, of, you know, this was like 2013, I don't know. I think it was when like 0.18 when docking was first introduced. My first version of KSP was 0.17. Technically, my first version of KSP was the demo that was based off of, like, you know, 0.78 or something that was free. Like, the very, very first public release version of the game. I very specifically remember the dream was I was in orbit around Duna. This is before I could even get a stable orbit, by the way. I was 10. I had no fucking clue what I was doing. But I was like undocking craft and shifting them around and whatnot. And then later, I ended up reading Stephen Baxter's Voyage, which is about a Mars mission in the 80s, and the Ares Mars architecture in that book involves a lot of shifting craft around in Mars orbit. So it's not like, it kind of reminds me of both of those things. I've been pinged. Oh. Neglecting to invite me is fruitless. Secretly, I watch. You weren't online! I'll invite you now. I only invite people if I see they're online, because I don't want to bother them. Oh well. Nano's also streaming as well, Star. Nano is back on Twitch, and streaming in general, which is just absolutely great. We might raid him, depending if he's still streaming, when this is over. Damn it, you didn't stream yesterday. I was kind of sad about that, but oh well. Life gets in the way, I understand. Alright, let me just disable those engines so I don't forget. Oh, this is a rough docking. Yeah, I bounced off. Okay. Oh no, the magnets are being weird. Okay. Hold up. It's... Hey, there we go. How's the audio, by the way? Is the audio good? I hope it is. Afug on Twitch? Yeah. That brings up problems for me? Why? I can send you Nano's stream. Talking with him in DMs. Hold up. Yeah, yeah. He is live. He is real, even. Nano is real. Okay. That alone freed up so much Delta V. Okay. And now, I think... Quick save. Let me see. In camera. And I think now... we might actually want to do some... I'm just thinking about this. I might want to do an EVA to put these onto here. Okay. Would that be pointless though? Because the only thing we're gonna dock and undock again after this is the plane. So it really doesn't matter the fact that we have shit RCS, because we're not going to be docking anything to this again except for the plane, and that has its own RCS. So I think we can just go ahead and that even decouple. No, it did not. Okay. No, that did not decouple. Can I, like, decouple this? Okay, I guess it doesn't matter, because that apparently cannot decouple whatsoever. Oh well, I guess that's just permanently attached now, but we have enough. Okay. Or from here. So when is our dual transfer window? 1 year. Okay. So I guess we just warp around for a year. Ugh. Shut the... You know what? You know what? Exactly. Exactly. Shut the fuck up, YouTuber. YouTubers, when they make an 8-hour video essay on the political implications of Pikmin. Oh well. What? Oh. Oh, that's, hopefully you don't have epilepsy, because, my gosh. Ugh. Water. Ugh. I don't know. There's some things that I also... Speaking of, you know, things that I need to finish, the Lego ISS project, I need to finish that. That is something that I actually need to finish, but I want to stream that whole thing. Maybe next, maybe not. Maybe next week? I don't know. 'Cause I think going forward, I think I'm going to... I don't know, maybe like one day will be KSP, one day will be something else, and then another day will be another thing. I don't know, in terms of games. Have, like, get a rotation going. You know, be a super professional, real streamer, man, and in addition to getting a schedule, get an actual, like, game rotation. Okay. These guys have been waiting in orbit for 2 years. This is not my longest mission by far. I did a Dres mission where it's lasted... I needed to do a Dres rescue mission and it lasted 9 years. And the Kerbals are still not back, so, well, that was remarkably easy. Okay. Only 1,400 meters a second. Only. The ship looks a bit weird now without the lander. I'm pinning this. The meme ever. I see you typing. while this slowly, painfully rotates around. No, I don't understand why. Okay, I have this desire, right? I I do not like I don't like following a person on Twitch or with streamers, you know, with Twitch or on YouTube, especially if they're like small and not showing up for their streams, right? I will go through great lengths to at least show up to as many streams as I possibly can for as many people. And it kind of makes me sad when they either A, miss a stream, or B, don't stream for a while. So that's why, if you're really curious. Because it's like a big streamer, you know, which I don't really like. The biggest streamer I watch, I think, is EJ, and even then, like, he streams, like, streaming is literally his job, so he does it every day. So I'm not like too worried about missing his streams because I always know that there will be there. But, you know, with smaller streamers where it's just a hobby, it's like, yeah, I like these people. I like the people that I watch a lot, and I want to, you know, talk with them on stream and watch their streams. And that really sucks when you have like 10 people streaming at once. Well, not like just right now, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 people I'm following are streaming right now. And it's just like, oh, I guess it makes sense I can't be there because I'm doing my own stream, but I can't watch 6 streams at once. So who do I have to like not watch? And it's always a dilemma. Okay. Ugh. I went silent. That's not something that you should do. Never be silent while chatting or streaming or something. Apparently I should have started that burn 15 minutes ago. I'm just going to silently adjust that. Oh well. See, I got distracted. Okay, we'll just start now. Right. Do I even need this maneuver node? Like, it's a fairly simple, like, home and transfer burn. Right? I don't... Oh well. Like, Jool's gravity is big enough where we can we just ballpark our trajectory and we'll probably get an encounter. Ugh. We are departing Duna on the not the far side. There's no far side of Duna. It's not like tidally locked or anything, but the night side of Duna. Is Ike tidally locked? I don't know. The moon is. Most moons are. But hey, we are going. Anyways, oh yeah, that's something in KSP2. KSP2, they've improved the time warp so much that you can actually like, right now, I'm accelerating, right? I'm burning my engines. I can't time warp. I can physics warp, but physics warp is just the jankiest shit in the world and actively causes a memory leak within your game. So that's why you don't do it. Even though I actually did it early. Don't do it with big ships, because it wobbles them apart too. But like in KSP2, something that's going to be there is you can actually time warp under acceleration. So this burn that I'm doing right now, you know, it's going to take us a few minutes, like 5 minutes to do. And, you know, in KSP2, I can just time warp through this burn and my engines will still be firing. Which is going to be something that's going to be really cool. Another cool feature, which it's not going to be in the base game, but not the base game, the initial release. Obviously, they're going to add colonies later on. You're going to be able to set up colonies that collect resources, and of course, I love building infrastructure in this game. You know, like space stations and ore mining facilities and stuff like that. And in KSP2, you're going to be able to automate this. So like our Orlander, for example, I have to manually fly the missions, you know, down to the surface of, you know, Midness and back up to the station and whatnot. I have to do that 10 times. But in KSP2, you're going to be able to automate some of that stuff. They're putting Factorio in KSP2, and it's going to be great. I absolutely love it. Probably gonna miss the rest of the stream since I'm gonna shower and make food. So Yasumi, thanks for stream. Thanks, Star. Thanks for popping in as always. I always do appreciate it. Why is this thing like... Why is this thing rolling so much? There's no need for this to rotate. Oh. Oh, I see. Yeah, go ahead and do that. What, did you, like, forget your password or something? I don't know. Tell me later. Go shower and eat. That's probably more important. Right, we are me on my way to Jewel. Oh, that's pretty right there. Oh, I absolutely love, I love that. It's like, especially when you're like leaving any kind of small, like, this was it when we were around Minmus, right? You really did get the impression that you were leaving somewhere. Like when you're around Kerbin and you do a burnout to the mud, or you do a burnout into solar orbit, it kind of takes a bit for the it takes a bit for you to realize, hey, I'm actively floating away from this, or flying away from this planet. But like when you're around Duna and doing a long burn like this, you can tell that we're just on our way off to somewhere, departing the planet. That's so cool. I don't know why this stuff makes me so happy. It's like this and trains are just two things that make me stupidly happy. Ah, it's the innertism in me. Okay. I say that like at least I'm not like partially on that spectrum, but okay. Ugh. All right. You know, I just realized, worst case scenario, we can just ditch these side cores if we really need to. That would probably save us Delta V. Probably not thrust, but I don't think we're gonna need that. Ugh. Oh, look at like how parts of Duna are just illuminated. That is excellent. Uh, because the sun is over there. I think the sun is being eclipsed by Ike. We're experiencing an eclipse. That's what's causing this effect. Oh, that's cool. I love this game. Ugh. Alright, we almost got ourselves an encounter. How long does it take to get to Jewel? Like 3-4 years? Like, how long does it get to Jupiter in real life? 8, I think? I think it took, like, the Voyager probes 8 years to get out there. And yet again, that changes, because depending on how you do, like, you can do, like, gravity assists, and if you do a gravity assist, it probably takes longer. But, another thing, right? Because we're getting, it's like 6 months away at this point, but, the Polaris Dawn mission, right? The first of the Polaris mission, which is Jared Isaacsman's privately funded Gemini program. But because the first mission for that is going to break the Gemini, I think on Gemini 12 or Gemini 11, Yeah, because it was Gemini 11 with Pete Conrad. That was they did a I think on that mission they got up to about an Earth orbit that was like 1,400 kilometers or something like that. Why am I not? Okay, there we go. Now we have a Joule encounter. And you know, with some of those photos from the high altitude Gemini missions, you could see like the Earth slowly float away, and I'm just really excited to see that again. You know, I think they're going to go up to about 1,500 kilometers. It's going to be the highest we've gone since Apollo 17 in 1972, the last time we went to the moon. That's going to be a cool mission. Of course, Artemis too, but that's like a year, still a year away at this point. I think year and a half. That's going to be a fun mission. Look at that! You can actually see the stupid reflection of Ike. That's like a screenshot. That's like a screensaver right there. Alright, we are departing. Bye, Duna. That was fun. Just delete that alarm, I don't need it. Okay. Now, I don't have a heat shield on this thing. What is Joule's atmosphere? Because there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to aerobrake this thing. Oh, nope. I do not want a time warp. Because this thing has no heat shield on it. So, Joule's atmosphere, 138 kilometers. Alright. Or, wait, no. Joule. That doesn't seem right. What does the wiki say? Argument of periapsis 0. Speed of ascending node. Orbital velocity. Atmospheric atmospheric height 2,000. Yeah, that seems right. Okay. Well, it's always easier to do a burn out here, so let's try and do one like way out here. Just, you know, to see how much we can save in terms of hello? Oh, the stream is back. I'm sorry about that. OBS just suddenly decided to be like, hey. If we go past there, that will kick me up into just the strangest orbit. Okay. Let's see, because as I said, I'm not the best at like Joule stuff. Like I've only I've only ever been to Joule a few times, so I'm not the best at getting a proper encounter. No. Is that... We're gonna have to do, like, multiple course corrections. Yeah, let's just get that for now, and then the closer we get to it, we're gonna have to do this in multiple, like, stages in terms of, like, course corrections and whatnot, because I don't want to fiddle around with the maneuver node for 10,000 years. I should probably go and get a glass of water. While my ship slowly is turning, I'm checking my Discord server. uh. Oh well. ESP2 Community Delta V. There was a network error. Well, that's unfortunate. There we go. We are back. Alright. Okay, here's another random thought, right? When I stream Raft, so I was uploading some, uploading some of my VODs to Twitch today, to YouTube today, and one of the things, like, I reviewed some of the streams, right? In the streams where it was with KSP, or Slime Rancher, the audio on my end was, like, perfectly fine. Like, there was no issue with it whatsoever. But with the Raft, ironically enough, for whatever reason, it made me sound like I was underwater. And I do not know why. Kind of makes me not want to stream the game if I just sound horrible while doing it. But I'll have to check, I guess. But I don't know. Maybe after I review this stream. Maybe it's just something with my headphones? I don't know. It was weird. And how Bop is in this weirdly elliptical orbit. Or, not weirdly elliptical, it's actually inclined. Alright. Start burn. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Oop, that was something upstairs. Okay. Probably could have started that a bit, yeah, delete on close. Probably could have started that a bit later. Oh, nope, that's not what I want. Oh, it deleted my maneuver node. Okay, I guess we're just not gonna have a maneuver node for this one. What are those crickets? Oh, that's the that's the lo-fi playlist. Like, excuse me? I love how if we it will kick us up into this stupidly weird orbit. Okay. Now we need to get another maneuver node, so we're actually like coming into the system in an actually half decent way and not very strangely coming in. Okay, there we go. Oh, we can get a Tylo encounter. I kind of don't want a Tylo encounter. Kind of want to get... Oh, that's not what I want either. Hold up. Okay. Just slowly adjusting this. Oh well. I think we'll just do that, and then we'll do another burn closer in to kind of get us, you know. But yeah, we just need to warp out a bit more. And, like, navigating, like, between planets is just... It is a completely different, like, ball game in terms of... Like going to the mud is, like, stupidly easy. At least for me. Like, even min-miss. But, you know, once you get out of the Kerbal system, it just... It becomes, It's like, oh yeah, you have to think about everything more, and everything's like big numbers and small changes and whatnot. And I know that's just how orbits work in general, but still. Okay. Yeah, let's just warp to this. One mod that I never, because a while ago, you know, back in September of last year, I did a fresh reinstall of KSP. I uninstalled all my mods and I re-downloaded them all. But one mod that I never reinstalled was Planet Shine. Excuse me. If I had Planet Shine installed, I'd be able to, what's it called? I'd be able to see the other planets right now, but now I just can't. Oh well. Slowly making our way out here. Uh. Okay. That maneuver node is still in a year. Okay, that is just crazy. Okay. Still in a year. And the further you get out, just the more... I wish there's better time warp in KSP2. Like, when you get out here, you don't have to actually sit and wait for who knows how stupidly long. Start burn in 300 days. Yeah, you just sit here doing nothing. Oh well. Excuse me. I am tired. I do have to wake up at like 9 o'clock tomorrow for my my online photography class, so I have no idea. I think I've probably been going for like I don't know what, like an hour maybe. Maybe slightly more than that. All this stuff over on the side, clip that, edit stream info, sub-only chat? No. No one would ever chat. That's a dome. I understand that if you have like big like streamers, but manage poll. Have I ever done a poll for anything? No. Manage goals. Excuse me. Subscription goal, follower goal. I don't really have goals for that. I just do this because it's fun. I never really intend this to be like anything more than just a hobby, right? I don't know, a lot of people say that and then they make it big, but far more people say that and they're like, oh yeah, they just don't. Oh well. I can make like $1 on the side. Of course, Twitch doesn't give you a payout until you make like, I think it's like $50 or something, so I think I'm at like $6. So anyways, light them up for the burn. Hey, okay. We are getting close though. Although we are going to reach apoapsis in a single ad maneuver. Get us in. You know, I could probably do that from out here. I just realized. Wait, did my bitrate go down? Oh, my bitrate went down. Oh no. East Rail 111 is now playing Hearts of Iron. Or just East Rail 11 is now playing Hearts of Iron 4. Because of course he is. Can you tell I've just run out of things to talk about in the middle of me doing these hyper annoying burns? Okay, apparently I got a point prograde if I want to. I do want to get to Laythe. Okay. But at least we're getting to Jewel, right? No, there will come a point where I can actually see all of Jewel's moons, and that's going to be nice. I gotta slowly rotate this stupid thing around. Slow turn. Oh, did the Twitch decide to just unexist again? Okay, no. See, now I'm concerned about that. Now I'm concerned about Twitch being like, oh yeah, I don't want to stream anymore. Screw you. Oh well. Ugh. Okay. Now we can do this burn to get ourselves into, well, further into the system. Yeah. Up. Okay. Probably get a Tylo encounter, although a Tylo encounter would just... Oh, no Tylo encounter? Oh yeah, there's a Tylo encounter. I don't want a Tylo encounter. Hey, you want to slam into Tylo? Because that's what we're going to do right now if we keep this orbit. I do not want to slam into Tylo. I want to basically get as close to the atmosphere as I possibly can. I can get a Laythe encounter. Well, we are headed to Laythe. Is there a way I can get, like, a retrograde Laythe? Oh, well. Oh, yeah, here's another Laythe. Is Laythe gonna be the... Okay, hold up. Because if we do that, we will knock into Jewel. And I don't want to knock into Jewel. Fungus 2. Welcome back, Spud. Why is none of my RCS working? Hold up, let me go to the tracking station. I got myself on a trajectory to head into Jewel. The issue is, apparently it's a collision course. We are getting there. We are getting there. It's been nearly out there for 4 years. Ugh. The stream almost... Well, it did actually die while you were gone, but... Oh, let's see. Yeah, if I take a look at Jewel right now, I am up. If I take a look at Jewel, I will crash. don't know why my RCS suddenly... No? I don't know what I did to just not have RCS anymore, but, I don't know why I'm not getting any RCS. That kinda sucks. Have I even ever actually looked at Laythe in this? No? Yeah, it looks like Kerbal. Basically another Kerbal. But, that's kind of why I want to go to it. Full of water. Does Laythe even have ice caps? I don't think it does. Okay. I do not want to die into Jewel. I've been pinged. Oh, Cupcake is streaming. Okay. I haven't watched her in a while. Maybe after the stream, I'll watch. Okay. "228 kilometers. Jewel's atmosphere is how high?" 200 kilometers. So that's actually good. That would be very easy for me to get into. Get into an orbit. I'm gonna quick save right here. Warp here. Alright. Now we just need to, well, painfully warp ourselves over to Jewel. No, 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 no. Hey. Space fans, when I buy 100-kilogram payload slot on a Falcon Heavy and cram them inside the fairing, they suddenly don't want to go to Mars anymore. Checkmate. Universe sandbox. Oh well. Yep, gotta wait another year. Just slowly just get close. Wait, we are going to get a Laythe encounter? Excuse me? That's not what I really want. Well, kind of is, kind of isn't. Direct Laythe insertion, question mark? I don't think we're gonna have the Delta B for that. Because coming into Jewel from interplanetary speeds and trying to capture around a moon is... Actually, here's a question. If we come in retrograde, then that would actually slow us down. It wouldn't speed us up. So, what I probably should have done is I probably should have gotten a retrograde Tylo encounter. I might actually still be able to get that. Who knows? Let's get within the SOI, and then we can figure out what the heck we're doing. We are slowly getting there. Huh. Why does everybody stream on Monday? Now Pacific is streaming as well. Okay. Literally everyone be like, yes, let's stream on Monday night. Okay, 90 days. They've been out here for 5 years. Yet again, not my longest mission, but... I think my longest mission was 9. My longest mission was a Dres mission that I think I'm still in Dres orbit, but it's been 9 years so far because I need to come and rescue that poor Kerbal. It's like, yes, let me just strand you on the most boring place. I'm actually just gonna get into a Joule orbit. Well, Joule's SOI. You know, in KSP2, the fact that, you know, the SOI of the planets and the moons are shown, I think it's actually kind of, that's just like a small quality of life thing that I think is really neat. Make it so much easier to just, like, get orbits and stuff. Okay, it turns out I will actually get a, let's see, Tylo. What would it take for me to get a retrograde Tylo encounter? We are within Joule's SOI, though, so... Tylo set as target. I know it's probably way too late to do this, but I don't. I'm just curious. Oh. Wait, hold up. I could... It might just be easier to just... Yeah, I think... Oh, well. Yeah, I think it's just easier just to keep doing what we're currently doing. So, I'm gonna quick save. Let's warp into... No. That's not what I... Okay. Hold up. Can I select Joule? Yes, I can. Let's slowly fall into Joule's gravity well. Oh, there it is. Oh, and you can see all the moons. Hey. Am I even going to get a Laythe encounter? Sometimes it says, oh yeah, you're going to get a Laythe encounter, and then sometimes it says, oh, nope, never mind. 142 kilometers? That's way too low. That is well within the atmosphere. Okay, hold up. I don't know why it doesn't want my RCS to work anymore. But there's Laythe. There it is. Get a good look at it as if you fly past. One of the projects that I considered was a massive station around Laythe that could go out and with like landers obviously and stuff like that. But like eventually we'll do that. We'll do that when we get colonies into the game in KSP2 in like 2 years from now. I don't know, 8,000 years from now. Oh, Bob. Oh. Tylo. I've been to Tylo. I haven't come back from Tylo, but I've been there. I just want to get above the atmosphere, so I don't, because I don't have the heat shield on this. I need to get above the atmosphere so I don't burn to death. That gets me a Laythe encounter. Okay. We are encountering Laythe's, SOI. Oh, that's cool. Oh yeah, we're technically about to go into the SOI, so that's why it's... Oh no, we are in the SOI, and now we're not anymore. Okay. In 1 hour. Gosh, we are speeding up quick. Okay. Hi, Jewel. Okay. Now we just need to get ourselves into a... Well, what's it called? We need to get ourselves, you know, oriented the proper way so we can actually... We're going to have to do this on multiple passes. 8,000. Coming in quick. Okay, periapsis is in 9 minutes. Oh, it's shimmering. That's cool. Oh my, look how fast we're going. Okay. I'm gonna light up the engines at... Light them up at 3 minutes. So I just want to get into elliptical orbit, right? I don't want to get into... Okay, there we go. Now we just need to start slowing down and get ourselves into just a orbit around here. Hey, we're doing it. We're doing it. Oh, we're in an elliptical orbit around here. I want to set Laythe as my target. Hey. I didn't have to craft to ruin this as much as I thought in order to actually get here. Oh well. Well, it's still going to take a few passes to actually, you know... We're still not even at our periapsis yet. But it is coming down. Oh, we got an encounter with something before. I didn't see what it was, though. Probably Tylo. Where is the Kraken at again? I know there's a Kraken somewhere. Is it on Paul? I don't think it's on Paul. Oh. Wait, hold up. Oh well. Oh well. Bop? It's on Bop? Okay. Hey, we got ourselves an encounter. I'm gonna quick save here, right? And I'm actually gonna burn a bit more to see if we can get a better encounter. Okay. Get an encounter like that. Yet again, I'm going to keep on quick saving until I don't want to again encounter where I'm flying past it, you know, too quickly. So, and I think we have the Delta V to spare, so it shouldn't be that big of an issue. Okay. Hold up. If I... I'm curious now. If I just... Okay, we're in the Joule system, right? And if I... Yeah, if I just continue on this path, I will get a super bizarre, like, encounter. But, oh well. We're almost there. And look how much Delta V we have left over. Okay. Ah. Oh, I don't have to worry at all. Okay. Up. You came back at the right time, Spud. Oh my gosh, we're almost there. Hey, there we go. 50 kilometers? You know what? Good enough. Well, let me get into a more like circular sort of thing. 46? 54? What's Laythe's atmospheric height? Laythe's atmospheric height is 50,000 meters. That's actually that's perfect. Okay. Ugh. We are almost there. Add alarm. It's in 4 hours. I like this music. How far are we into the hour 39? So that's how long we've been going for. It's only not. It's 9 o'clock. Okay, this might go until 10. Who knows? Okay. Ugh. Start burn. Lead on close. Yep. Start burn in 51 seconds. Ah. Oh my gosh, I'm super happy with this. You don't know how happy with this I am. This is gonna work so well. You know, I probably didn't even need to jettison the frickin' Orlander. Probably could have lugged that thing along with me. I don't know if I'd have the fuel. I might have. Yeah, I might have. Shit, we didn't need to abandon that thing. Alright. I'm just gonna start the burn now. Or is this kind of encounter just kind of puts us kind of a weird... We just fly past, it puts us into a weird sort of situation where I tabbed out of the game. $51? I'll take that. Okay. Warp here, 4 hours. It puts us onto this trajectory, which, yeah, if the engines don't light up, they're screwed. But this is KSP, and the engines will almost, yeah, there's none of that in this game. We are in Laythe's SOI. Where is it? Where is this stupid place? There it is. There it is. Hey, we're here. We made it. Okay. Our periapsis is barely above the atmosphere. That's Coming in quick. Aw, that's so cool. I know this plane can handle reentry, so it handled reentry on Kerbin pretty well. Okay. Start this a minute before, or minute 30. Oh, look at that. Look how fast we're moving. Look, we're gonna hit it. Actually, we'll do a minute, because 2, 1. Oh my gosh. It looks like we're doing a suicide burn. Look at that. You're just flying in. Maybe putting it directly above the atmosphere wasn't the best idea, because we're gonna actually dip into the atmosphere ever so slightly. I'm actually gonna quick save. I feel like we should be getting the cannot quick save all about to crash. My clock. Come on. Oh, we're flying away now. No, we're not. Oh, now we are. Okay. Come on. We need to slow down. We need to slow down. This is crazy. Speed 1000. Okay. Oh, it looks so beautiful. Oh well. I am surprised at the speed. I don't have much experience traveling around the Joule system. I went to Tylo once and it was such a painful experience. I don't remember much of it, but Laythe escape in 28 minutes. It's a race to see if we can slow down in time. Just have to burn the engines. No matter how stupidly inefficient this is, we have to get into a Laythe orbit. Because if we don't, we actually crash into Joule. Ugh. Sorry, checking Discord again. Okay. We are slowly getting there. Yeah, okay, we're not gonna have enough Delta V to make it back. These guys are actually stranded at Laythe. But Laythe is like, you can survive on Laythe, right? You know, it's basically a mini Kerbin. I don't know if there's any life there. Well, there actually, yeah, there is. There are plants and whatnot. I know in base game KSP, Laythe is just dead. But I know in Parallax, there's actually, like, plants and stuff you can survive off of, so. Hold up. Give me a moment. Hello, I'm back. Sorry about that, someone just walked into my room, but Okay. We are getting there. We are getting there. Come on, slow down, slow down. This is actually nerve-wracking. Oh my gosh. Come on. Time to periapse, negative 200 seconds. Time to apoapse, infinity. Well, we don't have an apoapse, so... No, I'm just gonna tab out real quick, just so I don't have to, like, worry. Okay. On 2,000 meters a second. We are slowing down. That's Kerbal orbital velocity we're getting at. This is our apoapse. This is in 2 days. Okay. Wait, hold up. Shit. Oh well. Well, I guess we're committed to this, even if this is stupidly inefficient. We only have like 1,500 delta V left. Okay. But we are making it around. It is curving now. Hey, we're in an orbit. Okay. It's not it's a suborbit technically, but it is an orbit. Okay. Warp here. Okay. We made it into a Laythe orbit, guys. I just need to get myself into, like, a somewhat circular orbit. But we did make it. Hey, Joe Biden. I don't know. Someone play that. Okay. Just...
Joe Biden. Joe Biden. Joe Biden.
I think Joe Biden plays Kerbal Space Program. I don't know. That meme is the... That one sound effect is the only political discussion that I will allow. Like, hardcore political discussion that I will allow on my stream. Okay. Just need to get into a much lower orbit now. Oh, look at Laythe. We're flying over an island. I feel like Laythe would be a pretty interesting place to live on, right? I don't know, maybe like a science fiction. Isn't there like an Arthur C. Clarke story or something where it's like the 200th, like the 300th bicentennial of the U.S. and it's all about like Titan's been colonized by the U.S. and the whole point is like they're about to transition away from using methane as like a rocket fuel, and as a result, Titan's economy is just which is entirely based on being a fuel depot is about to like blow up and die. And, you know, like they travel, like some of the Titan people travel back to Earth for the U.S. bicentennial or something like that. I swear there was a story like that. I don't remember the name. I just remember the premise. Like what would like an interplanetary like Laythe culture be like? That would be something interesting to world build. I would really think. All right, I'm gonna do this in 2 passes. Oh, but there's Jewel. I've been pinged. The man is still going. I am still going. I'm almost at my goal, though. I am so close. We got to where we want to go. Listen, if this is the last thing I ever do in KSP2, I'm not going to cut it short because I feel a bit tired. Or not KSP2, KSP1. Ah. Now I'm feeling sad now that I kind of realize that this might be one of the final things I do in this game that I have played for over 10 years. I picked up this game when I was 9, and now I'm turning 20 this year, and uh that's crazy to think about. Oh well. You know what? The last thing we'll do, we'll mess it. We're not. These guys are not getting back. We have 800 meters a second of delta V left. That's like not enough. But we are in a Laythe orbit, which is excellent. Uh, I'll go and I'll recreate the first rocket I ever made in this game, and I'll show you the first rocket I ever made in this game, uh, and I'll show you what I did. And I'll show you the second rocket that I did after I figured out what staging was. One of my friends' friends had a weird ass world building project where Mars has a permanent population by the modern day. Don't ask, weird, insane space race shit. Anyways, in that setting, Thanksgiving is basically a Martian holiday now to celebrate surviving another planet. Interesting. I don't know. I've always, it's like I have like an unbuilt world that's rattled around in my head and whatnot. And one of those is uh, the basic idea, right, is that it's a terraformed Mars, but it's a terraformed Mars, but Earth is effectively Mars was terraformed, uh, but it was only like partial. Like there's still a lot of like deserts and whatnot. But Earth basically nuked itself, and Earth and Mars effectively nuked themselves, and now it's a 21st century level of technology in the current setting. But you did have it, but that was only after civilization like rebuilt itself after Earth and Mars effectively destroyed themselves in like a giant war. So, uh, okay, we are. I've had the exact same idea. This is why we're friends. Anyways, uh, let's transfer. I'm gonna have Jeb do the honors, right? I think it's only appropriate. We're gonna have him be the one to head down to the surface. I think it is only appropriate. We are so close to my goal. Imagine having lifelong passions and hobbies couldn't be me. Oh well. I'm not like I don't intend on going like working for an air. Okay, here's the thing. I cannot do math. I could never work in an aerospace company because I can't do math for shit. I just can't. Which is why I'm probably going to go off and do the other weird hobby that I like, which is railroad stuff. I don't know. Get a logistics degree. Oh well, maybe you just haven't found what you want, Star. That's entirely true. Okay. Also, please make a Twitch account again. Probably gonna do history as a career. What I want to do as a career, right, is I've always really, I don't know why, but I've always been kind of obsessed with kind of like I collect railroad maps because I like trains, but I don't know. I like maps specifically and like how various railroads came to be and their route structure and whatnot and stuff like that. So I just collect maps and I look at that stuff for fun because I'm a weird nerd. And I've always been interested in kind of like the grand strategy of railroading in the United States. And I think something that would be really interesting for me as a job is almost kind of like a strategic planner sort of thing, where you work for a company and you basically plan out their overall goals and whatnot. And that would basically allow me to basically change the railroad map, I guess, uh, in real life instead of just doodling on paper. So, I don't know. It's another one of those weird obsessions. Yeah, I do. I have that. Shit's like a decade old. Yeah, I know. what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I do very much remember that song because when I was like 10 or 12 or 10, 11 or 12, people would just reference that song anytime I brought up what I had liked, and it got me. It like actually annoyed me. Okay. All right, gentlemen. Jeb is here. He has arrived. It is now time. It's now time to go down to Laythe. All right. Okay. Well, gentlemen. I'm so excited. I don't know why I'm saying gentlemen a lot. I'm really excited. This is gonna be so cool. Because I've never actually been, despite playing this game for 10 years, I've never actually been here before. Like, legitimately been here before. I've cheated myself over here. But I've never actually... Okay. Oh, no, that's a pretty picture. That's gonna be the thumbnail. Kinda wanna land on those islands. Okay. I've been pinged. Oh, Crimson is... Hold on, I gotta respond to... response. There, I'll go with that GIF. Okay. It is now time. I don't need Kerbal alarm clock up. Let's stop talking about what I want to do and actually do it. I just realized it really doesn't matter where we re-enter because, well, this is a plane with wings. All planes have, well, actually no, not all planes have wings because lifting bodies are a thing. Oh well. Lifting bodies are cool. I never really made one in KSP, but okay. Activate engine. Hey, what? Imagine Jeb in the cockpit of Spaceplane International TV about to make history by by entering and landing on Laythe saying, "Hold up, I gotta respond to the DM," and pausing before performing the burn. That is entirely something that Jeb would do. Thank you, Alex, for also pinging me in Discord by just saying 2 gallon. That is absolutely hilarious to think about, and yeah. Okay, I kind of want to land near those big islands. So, I'm actually going to warp around a bit more until those big islands come into view. This will be Artemis 3 in 2026. I don't know, you have like who did I put for my Artemis 3 prediction? Victor Glover and I think like Jessica Veer or something. I totally forgot. It's somewhere. Oh. Now I can't see shit because Laythe has been eclipsed. Everything's been eclipsed by Jewel. Okay, there we go. I want to land there. Victor Glover seems like the obvious answer. Yeah. Okay. Trying to perform the deorbit burn. He's 99% going to be on either 1 or 2. Yeah. Actually, what was my... I know I keep getting distracted, but what was my Artemis 2 prediction? What was... I have it somewhere. Luckily, I have a server where I talk to myself about space news because no one else in the server is interested. So Artemis 2, Commander Reed Wiseman, Pilot Randy Bresnick, Mission Specialist 1, Anna McClain, Mission Specialist 2, Jeremy Hansen. I think Hansen's like the most safe bet for Artemis 2. Artemis 3, Commander Victor Glover, Pilot Christina Koch, Frank Rubio and Johnny Kim, with Caleb Barron as backup for Koch and Thomas Pequest on Artemis 4, because we know there's going to be an ESA astronaut on that one. Oh well. Alright, that was my prediction. I'm going to shut up and... Well, not shut up. We're actually gonna... we're gonna enter on Laythe. Oh my gosh, I'm so stupidly excited. I hope Pequest gets A4. I think he's going to get... I want Pequest to walk on the moon. Thomas Pequest is easily my favorite astronaut because, I mean, the man is just absolutely great. But... I think it's probably more likely. He's gonna make the, Hi, I was the first non-American on the moon, AMA. Yeah, and if I don't think a European is going to command an Artemis mission until way, way later. Like way beyond what's currently planned. But I just really like the idea of Thomas Pequest commanding an Artemis mission and then just playing like the fucking Among Us song as a wake-up call while on the moon. Because that is something that he would do. He played on what was it, like Crew 2 or Crew 3? He played the shitty flute music as a wake-up call. That's another question, I random ass question I've been rattling around in my head. What would be like the wake-up calls for Artemis? Dancing in the Moonlight by King Harvest seems like a pretty obvious one while you're on the lunar surface. I don't know. Okay. We are in the atmosphere, right? I'm just so nervous right now. Oh yeah, star. I completely remember. This is something that also just popped up in my mind. Oh, never mind. Never mind that thought. We're starting to enter. I'll just say it real quick. Remember during one of your streams a few weeks ago where it was like, oh yeah, there's a manga for everything, including fishing. Well, I fucking found one, so I'll send it to you. During an Apollo mission, which I honestly adore. That was the pretty obvious answer, though. The pretty like if you were gonna have a wake-up call for the first wake-up on the moon, that one is a pretty obvious one to do. Remember, this is a plane. Fly it. Okay. I wanna kinda... I should really be bleeding off some of my speed, so I'm gonna start with some S-turns to kind of help bleed off my speed. So I'm not just coming in ballistically. Remember, here's the thing about space planes. It's a plane. Don't just come in ballistically like a capsule. It's a plane. Fly it. Oh, that's pretty right there. You know. Hold up. Oh, no, no, no. It doesn't want to do that. It does not want to do that. Toggle mode. Oh, why am I selected to stability assist? That's kind of... Why is this thing being so weird? Hello, I just want to fly upside down for no reason. Yeah, remind me to send that to you, Star. You know what, I'll remember after the stream. Okay. Oh, that's pretty looking. Because actually, hold up, I don't think wake-up calls... I don't think Wake Up Calls, when did Wake Up Calls begin? Was it like Apollo 15? I don't know. I think it was Apollo 15 when they started doing Wake Up Calls. Something from Dark Side of the Moon would also be pretty appropriate. I would personally say Time, but anything from that album, really. You know what would also be a good wake-up call? Home We're Finally Landing by Electric Light Orchestra. Hey, we made it through entry. Just trolled Twitch by entering my birth year as 1873. Mepfel's The Dark Laugh. True. I don't know. Okay, we are in the atmosphere now. I am actually going to switch over to atmospheric height. Let's get all this up. We are actually pretty fast. I've been pinged. I've been pinged once again. Oh well. Alright, well, we have arrived. We are on Laythe. Well, we're just flying around on Laythe. We need to find, like, a nice flat area. I'm gonna reduce my wheel authority. So honestly, I don't need that much control. But here we are, guys. We're down. Well, we're not down yet, but Goofy Ah Lolly. Gee, I wonder who that could be. Have to watch an ad for Disney Plus. I hate this site. That's fair. If I am so sorry. Listen, becoming an affiliate. Becoming an affiliate has many perks, right? Like, you know, if you have enough views, you get to make money. You can have, like, emotes and fun shit like that, but the ads, I have never run a fucking ad break, and I will never run an ad break as long as I stream. You have full permission to strangle me. You could just bail out Jeb with his personal chute and crash a plane. I don't want to do that. I actually want to fly around and, like, check everything out. Because, like, you know, Kerbal's range, like, I can walk across this valley, in theory, but it's so tedious, why the hell would you do that? I actually want to, like, fly around on Laythe, which is what I'm doing right now. It's just amazing every way. Hey, we're here. Laythe looks pretty barren, to be honest. I think most of the stuff is in the oceans. I don't know. We need to find, like, a good landing. Like, a good flat landing spot on, like, a beach somewhere. I want to save this liquid fuel. There we go. I want to save the liquid fuel. Hey, that looks neat. I kind of want to fly. We'll fly around. We'll get to the coast, and then we'll kind of, like, I don't know. It's like a good... I don't really see any good flat spots to land. Over there might work. This is kind of a mountainous... Yeah. Kind of like a... It's a very mountainous area. Is there, like, any other islands near me that are probably better? Probably those islands up there, if I were to guess. Oh, well. Let's actually... Yeah, let's... I forgot how to permanently change my chat colors. don't actually remember. I think you might just click on your nice profile picture. Uh, oh well. We'll fly. We'll fly to one of the other islands and we'll find a nice. I mean, Sage is very goofy so makes sense. Oh, that's nice. Okay, you know what? We're not going to fly to the other island for the simple fact that I do not have enough. We'll find ourselves a landing site, right? We'll find ourselves a landing site. We'll actually turn around. We'll turn around and we'll find ourselves a landing site on the other side of this island. This area is just straight, like, bluffs, and there's no real, like, good place to land. There's no good, like, flat place to land, so... Looks like there is some sort of life down there. Well, most of it's in the oceans, though, that's the thing. A Laythe submarine would be pretty cool. Oh, that's Val up there. It's weird, Star. On like, the Streamlabs end, it says your name is orange, but on the, like, the actual Twitch end, it says it's blue. I don't know if you changed it to either one, but... Oh well. Oh well. Nice valley area. Just sand dunes, but... We'll land, and then I think we'll go back. I'll recreate the first rocket that I ever made in KSP. Maybe we'll go through some of my save files. Depends on, you know, if I'm feeling good by the end of it, but... Flight operations... Oh, hold up, I tapped out of the game. Apparently this thing just hogs electric charge. Like, these solar panels are not enough. Where am I? Oh, yeah, I'm over here. Yeah, I think we're gonna land right there. Or maybe on the... Yeah, we're gonna land right there. Okay. Alright, I need to line myself up for a landing. And flying around on Laythe is actually pretty fun.
Discovery, go and throttle up. Roger, go and throttle up.
Hey, thanks for following. You already followed me on your old account, now you're following me on my new one. Oh well. Sonic Frontiers moment. Okay. Let me just line myself up for a landing. I'm gonna be landing over there on that little land? The shores. Gee. I think everywhere in here is shore. There's our little landing target marker. I love how it says I have no electric charge, and yet I'm, it's pretty obvious that I do have electric charge. Okay. I probably didn't pick the best place to actually, you know, land, but oh well. What's all that? Is that like... Is that like algae accumulation? What is this goop? What is this shit? Ugh. I don't wanna like go into the water, so. Now right there is where we're going to land. Yeah, right over there. It's that rock. Okay. We are very close above the water. It also doesn't help that it's kind of dark, so cannot quick save while about to crash. Well, come on. Oh, bounce, bounce. Oh, fuck, 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 fuck. Well, the plane's in one piece. Hey! Wait, no, the nose snapped off. Why is it like... Why is it like dark? Why... Do I have to like time warp into daylight? Why is it... Congratulations, Yor did it. And for whatever reason, I don't know why this... I think my parallax is broken, but, here. Let me just, like... We can get ourselves up on the bank. I don't know why there are these black shaders. I think my parallax might actually just be broken. Oh well. Let's get up on the bank. I made it to Laythe. Oh my god. Oh, I guess those are the effects. Kind of in a permanently shadowed area, and my nose cone broke off, but what happens if I... Pull up. Settings? I don't know why the ocean is black when it should be just normal color, but oh well. Maybe it is algae or something like that. Anyways, Jeb, it's time for you to get out. In the words of Al Shepard, it's been a long way, but we're here. Plant the flag. Fun fact, Sage is voiced by the voice actor Farai Inami from Evangelion for both the Japanese and English dubs. This means Shay is a Ray fan, which inherently makes her cringe. Mayhaps, mayhaps. I've never watched Evangelion and probably never will, but I know plenty of people who have watched it. We made it. I think my lighting just may be fucked. I think that's what's going on right now. Ah, but we made it to Laythe. We are here. What happens? Hold up. I'm actually gonna go to the main menu for a second. I've been pinged. Who joined? Oh, Spud, you finally joined. Okay. You get the funny roll. Okay. I'm gonna go to the main menu. I didn't realize you had one. I don't even know how you didn't. It posts in the Discord chat every, like... It posts in the Discord chat, like, every... Like, anytime people chat for a significant amount of time, it posts. Anyways, we have space channels if you scroll down, so, I thought that just linked to your account. No, it's a link to a Discord server. Okay, I'm going to quickly go for nearly 2 hours, 2 hours 30 minutes. Gosh, graphics. Patched comics. Ah, I see. Damn, you would get along a lot with Jack was gone, but just another guy that I know. Alright, I'm actually going to apply this and accept, and we're going to head back and just see if any of that actually worked. Okay, test flight. 100 flights in my just sandbox save, gosh. I actually am getting tired. I can feel myself getting tired, so I'll go until 10. Which is how detailed orbit calculations are. Okay, that makes more sense. Patched conics 0. You cannot calculate your orbit. Okay, Jeb Kerbal landed at Laythe. I actually just think my parallax is broken, but oh well. I think if you set it below a certain amount, it just I see star. Yeah, I know. Oh well. Hey, it actually... Okay, I don't think parallax loaded, but parallax is, like, partially loaded. I don't know why it suddenly got rid of all the weird scatter stuff, but... I guess the joke is just turning into me saying I don't like the cast of Evangelion. That's what I've heard a lot. Okay, I've never watched Evangelion, nor do I have any intention to, but I've heard a lot that, it's a great show, which is horrible people. We have it set to 3, it'll calculate your orbit up to 3 SOI changes before it stops trying. Okay, that makes sense. I was just seeing what that does. But apparently reducing the shader quality, while it kind of gets rid of some of the parallax stuff, it also doesn't at the same time. So yeah, what are these like algae blooms? Are those patches of ice? What are those out there? I kind of want to land on one now. Okay, gentlemen. I'm gonna try and land on one of those. Is that a sand? Is that a vent? It's not actually collidable? Okay, that makes sense. Oh yeah, I can lower my helmet. Traces of salt. This area was once underwater. Oh yeah, because it's Laythe and there's an atmosphere. I don't need a helmet. Are those like thermal vents? What is that up there? It's like the temperature. I remember Laythe being very cold. I assume those are like salt or algae or something like that. Cryovolcanoes. Ah, I see. Is Laythe like volcanically active? Alright. Alright. Get in, Jeb. Shinji's only the decent person, but he's surrounded by terrible people, terrible influences. Ah, I see. Tired of the Retrowave playlist? Yeah, so was I. I kind of played that for like 6 months, but I'm happy that I chose it too. Like this is the same playlist from the last, like the raft stream that I did yesterday. which I don't know why, but put on the fishing lo-fi music. Is it royalty free? Let you borrow a rod. Wait, is my craft actually standing up on its ladder? No, it's not. Okay. So yeah, Jeb just rammed his space plane. No, Saged. Jeb just rammed his space plane into a cryovolcano. EVA report? After a few long seconds of gasping and haphazardly flailing about while you manage to get used to the strange smell, you write a note on your report. Breathable atmosphere, mouth only. I would not know that. I know... I barely know anything about Evangelion. The only thing I know about Evangelion is what other people have been saying in, like, Discord servers. Can I jump into this? Yeah, okay. And Jeb jumps into a cryopod. Oh well. Laythe is cool. I like this place. I think actually under the water there's actual like plants and whatnot. We'll go check that out. Oh my, what? Ah! Hey, bonk. Okay. You okay, Jeb? That was fun. I'm gonna do that again. Hey, okay. I want to see. For being weak. I'm going to. Wee! Again! Exactly. Why can't I climb this? Jeb, he cannot actually get up. Kerbal's skulls must be made of, like, titanium or something, because they can take... The amount of damage that they can take is just absolutely ridiculous. Alright. I'm gonna keep this equipped, just in case I have to use my parachute. Wait. No? Wait. Is that not repeatable? What if I just stand in it for a little bit? Is that what... Oh, hold up. What if I just stand in it for a little bit? Hey, yeah, there we go. Bonk. Okay, that's fun. Okay. One more time. And then we'll head down to the ocean. Okay, I think we need to wait a little bit. It builds up after a while if you just stand in here. Oh, hold up, Spud, I have to do something. Hold up. Okay. Let's see if you notice. It needs to build up a bit more. You gotta wait. Come on. Come on, I want to do this again. I want to be launched into the frickin' air. Oh, the sun, finally. Jeb is enjoying his geothermal bath. Oh, there it is. Oh. Ah, that was weak. Come on, you can do so much better. Oh, it went away. Wait, no, it's still here. Wee! Hey, crunch. The geothermal vents on... Oh my god, that legitimately scared me. That legitimately scared me. Oh my gosh. I hope... I just can't stop laughing. Alright, we're gonna... Oh, I don't mean to climb over. Oh well, we'll get a picture of Jeb on top of his broken nose cone plane. Oh well. That pan is legitimately a jump scare. Up, he fell. Come on. Or... I am just gonna let this thing slide back down to the ocean. Just use the jet engine to slow myself down. I think... Isn't there, like... Oh, well. Anyways, I don't care. I thought there was stuff underwater. There might be, but who cares? Okay. So... what I am going to do, right, is we're going to end the stream in a few minutes. But... what I am going to do, right, is I am going to go and I'm going to recreate the first rocket that I ever made in KSP. And we're going to recreate it exactly how I did, the improper staging and all. So let me just paint this picture. It is, I don't know, late 2012? When did 0.17 release? KSP 0.17. 0.17 released on June 11th. Hold up, version history. On October of 2012. So this is. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Sonic Unleashed. I wish I could play these on stream, but I can't. It is fall of 2012. I am like 9 years old, I think. Oh, good night, Spud. Thank you for coming in, as always, and thank you for joining the Discord. I hope you had fun. Those geothermal vents are fun. But I wonder how high you could theory launch with that thing. But it is December or late fall 2012. I was like, I don't know, what's like, how old would I be? It's like 2003 plus 9. 2012, yeah, I was 9 years old. Maybe 10. 9 or 10. I don't exactly remember. But I stumble upon a video, and I will link up the video too, called Operation DX KSP. It's a YouTube channel by the name of Operation DX, right? I cannot find the video, but... And it's basically him doing a rendezvous in KSP, and this was before, like, this was way before we had all the technology to, like, before, like, even docking was in the game, right? And I became, it's like, oh yeah, it's a space game. Because, you know, as a 9-year-old, I like space. Rockets are cool, you know, stuff like that. And so I download the demo. The demo was based on the very first version of KSP that anyone ever played, which was 0.73. And I load it up, and I go into the VAB and I build my very first rocket. And that rocket entirely consisted of... I'll put it together. Technically the Mark 1 pod, the original Mark 1 pod, but we don't actually have that in the game anymore. It consisted of that, it consisted of a Hammer SRB, and it consisted of a parachute. this was the first craft that I ever built. Hopefully Jeb is actually... Oh no, Jeb is out somewhere in the solar system. So we'll have Daphne in here for this recreation. You know, this is the craft, and I call it Untitled Spacecraft. And because I was an idiot and didn't know how to spell, I thought Untitled said United. So all my crafts were Untitled Spacecraft 1, Untitled Spacecraft 2, Untitled Spacecraft 3. And so I take it out to the launch pad, right? But I didn't check my staging. The classic blunder. So my SRB and the parachute were in the same staging. And what I do is I end up I go out to the pad. Now there's a little tiny tutorial, like, you know, oh, you press spacebar to launch or something like that. And I go out to the pad and I do this. Parachute immediately deploys, right? And this is what happens. This is just a recreation of the first craft that I ever made in KSP. Just this. This is what it did. And of course, my second craft was basically the same thing, except the parachute was, you know, actually in the proper position. I couldn't tell you for the life of me when the first time I actually made orbit was. I remember building a rocket that, because I didn't know where the atmospheric height was at the time. I didn't know it was 70 kilometers, so I just assumed you just needed, oh, you just pitch over, you can go for a super low orbit, and if it's in the atmosphere, that's fine. But I think the first orbit I ever actually got into was actually a solar orbit, which is rather interesting. I eventually did get into orbit, though, after like 6 months of messing around in the game. But yeah, this is basically the first craft that I ever made in KSP. Luigi Duck. What the fuck? And I'll show you what KSP actually looked like during that time. So KSP 0.7. 0.7. So if you're curious about what the demo looked like, do I have a... I do not have a screen capture. Screen capture? Yeah, there we go. Hold up. I normally do not have this open, but this is what the game... Oh, that's underneath KSP. You're right there. This is what the game looked up. I did not mean to click out of that window. This is what the game looked like at the time. This is what the demo looked like. You know, that was the launch site. This is the same game as this, as what you see here today. Palm trees, stuff like that. So that was like the demo version. And then the free demo version, and 0.117 is when they added planets. But this is what like 0.117 looked like, for instance. Like no fairing, not even any nose cones. You know. That's what Moho looked like. Okay. No, there were mods, stuff like that. So that's what the game looked like. And now, well, the second version's coming out, and depending on how good the second version is again, there's a fairly likely chance I will never load up KSP1 ever again. Crash. Which is rather sad. This game has had a very big impact on my life, and it's always kind of been there. You know, it's a game I've played the longest. Alright, so I think I'm going to end the stream. We're going to raid... Who are we going to raid? We're going to raid Radio Free Kerbal, because he's a good guy. Is he even actually playing KSP? That's the question. Sometimes it says you're playing KSP, but then, no, he's playing Breath of the Wild. Who is actually playing KSP? Kerbal Space Program. Oh well. Oh well, I'll raid EJ, because, well, he's the KSP streamer I've been watching the longest. Oh no, that's Roger playing War Thunder. Anyways, so thank you everyone for watching. Raid someone cool? Yeah. Yeah, I'll rate EJ. But thank you all for watching Breath of the Wild. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Radio Free Kerbin's a cool guy, but like, I don't really care about Zelda, so thank you, Star, thank you, Spud, thank you, I forget the name of that other guy who popped in. Thank him. And the next time you should stream me, we should be in KSP2. Good night, everybody, and Star, remind me to send you that fishing manga, okay? I'll do that right now. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye, everybody.